let's talk now about what you should expect from this course and what the philosophy of the approach of this course series will be. Now, this series embraces your experience as a .NET developer. Right? .NET is going to start as our starting point. And so what I really mean by that is that in many ways I view this course series as a road from your .NET capabilities over to Android capabilities. So .NET will serve as our common ground for communicating. As much as possible, I'll try to draw parallels and correlations between we're doing this in Android and it's just like that in .NET. I'll also look for places where things we're doing in Android are very different, or maybe there isn't even a corollary on .NET, and I'll try to point those out as well and explain why things are so different. Because you'll find as we go through this platform, and it's true when you move to any platform, it has its own way of thinking. It's important to understand that. And that really leads us into the next point, is that this series really embraces the tools and techniques of the Android platform. Right? We want to work in a way that is natural to the environment of Android. I want to help you be an Android developer. So as part of that, we're going to use Eclipse as our development environment. Now, if you've used Eclipse years ago, don't panic. Eclipse has come a long, long way in the past couple of years. Google has a lot to do with that. Just as a side note, there is a company out there that makes a Java-based Android environment for Visual Studio. I've worked with that. At this time, I consider it to be a pretty poor experience. So that's one of the reasons we go with Eclipse. It's the most natural way. Now, there are other tools like in JetBrains, IntelliJ, IDE. I've used that a lot myself, but I think we're at a point now where Eclipse is certainly the most commonly used environment, and Eclipse has gotten mature enough, again with the help of Google, that it really is the preferred way to create Android applications. We will be working in Java. Again, it's the native language of the platform. It's what the libraries really expect. And again, the language is probably one of the easiest aspects of making the transition. So in my opinion, there's really no reason not to just go ahead and use Java, even coming from a .NET environment. And we'll use the Android SDK consistent with its design. One of the things that I went through when I first moved over to Android was that I kept kind of, even though I was working in Java and using the Java libraries, I kept trying to think like a .NET developer. And at first I thought I was being kind of clever with what I was doing, but the reality was I found I was putting a lot of hurdles in my way. I was making things more complicated. So we're really going to focus on using the Android SDK just as it's designed and try to think and work in the way it's intended.